Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and I'm really excited about today's show, and I'll tell you about it in just a second. But first, I want to invite you to join us in the Secret Sauce group. If you are an emotional eater, or you're a binge eater, or you're an out-of-control eater, or you're a snacker, or a nibbler, or a stress eater, or somebody who just thinks about food 24/7, guess what? You belong in the Secret Sauce and the Emotional Eating group on Facebook. It's a private group, and I want you to join us there. So please do that. And also, if you're not sure, if you're an emotional eater, if that sounds a little like something you can't quite identify with, but there's something wonky about the way you eat, then take the quiz. Go to healyourhunger.com and take the free quiz and find out. You'll actually get you'll get a personalized score and find out where you are on the spectrum and what you can do about it. So thanks for taking that quiz. Thanks for joining us in the Secret Sauce group. And thank you to everybody who joined us for the holiday soiree, okay, or sorbet. Soiree is what it's supposed to be. We had a great time going over what you can do to thrive, not just survive the holidays. How to really have more energy, have your self-care, have good relationships, and have control around food. So I'm really excited today for the show because what I've done is I've provided the replay of that holiday call. We did it online, literally on a video conferencing so people could tune in on their computers. And next time we're actually going to have people where they can actually join video conferencing and we can see each other. So that'll be super cool. But for this recording, we covered so much invaluable information about how to really thrive, not just survive the holidays. So you're going to love this, and I can't wait to just share all these tips with you, all these holiday hacks. I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome everybody to the holiday call. This is the 2019 holiday call. This is an opportunity for us to get really focused on staying healthy during the holidays, and not just healthy, but to thrive during the holidays, because we don't want to just survive it, right? We don't just muddle through. Your microphones, Jenny, are off. So thanks everybody putting where you're from. Deb from Canada. Yes, I cannot hear you. So another time we'll do it where I can hear everybody and we can talk. So, but I can see your chats. So go ahead and put anything in the chat that you want. Later I'll be taking, I'm going to be doing a little exercise first where you're going to be using the chat. So that's how we're going to communicate here. It's a little interesting. But yeah, so if you will, if you're here, I want to know where you're from. It's so fun. To me, it just helps us all feel more connected, which is what emotional eaters need, is to feel more connected. So go ahead and put in the chat where you're from, so we can feel more connected and just realize how universal, the desire to not hurt ourselves with food is, right? So everybody, I want you to post in the chat because this is where we're going to communicate. And what I want to do, besides seeing... Yeah, that's too, but it's all, you can only see your own chats. I feel like I need to fix that somehow. How do I fix that? Attendees. Sorry guys, I just it'd be great if you could all see each other's chats. That would be super cool. Yeah, we totally have to change this up, Tina, because I allow attendees to chat with all panelists and attendees.
Well, at the bottom where you can type in a question, it'll say to, and then there's a drop down that'll say all panelists or all panelists and attendees. So if everybody could make sure they drop that down and select all panelists and attendees, I think that'll help resolve the issue.
Okay. Thank you. See,
you are very welcome.
I need you, girl. Okay. So welcome everybody. Glad that you're here. Super, super psyched to have you. We have a good number of people here, which is so, so cool. I see my friend from New Zealand here, Belinda. I see you, girl. That's super cool. I see lots of friends here. Pat and gosh, so many different people. Thank you, Gwen. great thing. So I have clients on here and I have people I haven't met yet. So welcome. So if you don't know who I am, I just want to say I am Tricia Nelson, and I mean you might know that already because you get my emails. But I am somebody who struggled with emotional eating. So just so you know, kind of where I'm coming from and why I even do this work with Heal Your Hunger is because I was a large girl. Okay, I call myself a fat girl because I was overweight, and it was really painful. And I mean that's the thing is it hurt me to be overweight. It was really hard. You know, some people don't take it as hard as I did, but I like hated myself, and I hated my weight, and I hated what I did with food, and I hated how out of control I was with food. And I had these terrible thoughts like, what's wrong with you? You're weak. Get it together, you know, just stop it already. Like, why can't you be normal? Does anybody relate to that? Please this is a workshop. Okay. So we're going to be like connecting and engaging. So I don't want to do, even though you guys can't talk, I want to see you in the chat. And if you can relate to the things I'm saying, let's just keep it going in the chat. Okay. I would just love it if you just give me a little amen now and then. Okay. So if you know what it's like to be miserable with your weight or be feeling like yucko, when you binged, Carolyn says, yes, Angie, totally relate. Okay. Thanks guys. That makes me feel better. But yeah, it was so hard. And I tried so many different things to overcome it. Like I did like exercise programs and pills. Like I use these like amphetamine pills and just these vitamins, like fat burning vitamins and blah, blah, blah. So many different things. And nothing worked. And then I went to a 12-step program and that didn't work. You know, I mean, I could lose weight for a time and I'd bust out. I'd always have to binge again. Does anybody relate to like doing good, and then busting out in a binge? That's what I would do. It was so hard for me. And, you know, and so like defeating. And it's like, I didn't want to try. Like I got to the point where I'm like, what's the point? It's not going to work anymore, you know, or it's not going to work for me. And I really, you know, I got to a place where I just thought I can't do this for the rest of my life, like up and down the scale. And what happened is I met somebody who was able to finally help me. His name's Roy Nelson. He helped me. He was a healer. He is a healer, and he helped me many years ago, over 30 years ago, to heal my underlying causes. Okay. This is very important. I did not go on another diet. I did not approach this from the food standpoint, from the weight standpoint. You know, we all know what to eat, right? We all know what to eat, but that doesn't change like what we actually do. Okay. So it's not like knowledge that we're lacking. We've read the books, we've taken the courses, we listened to the podcast. It's the follow through. Okay. And if you want to give me an amen, give me an amen. It's like being able to follow through on what we know. And that's the part that's the sticking point. Okay. And that's the part that people are missing. Yeah. Thanks, Belinda. She's complimenting my dress. It's actually a top, but thank you. So that's the thing, that sticking point is when we don't follow through. We know better, but we don't do better. So that was me in a nutshell. And by the grace of God and the help that I got, I was able to dig down and get rid of the stuff that was blocking me from grace, to be able to just say no to the foods that were bad for me, and no, that it caused me to be triggered and to binge. You know, it just took that off the table, made me neutral to those foods. An amazing experience. You know, there's no cure. So I'm an emotional eater still. And I've just had a beautiful healing where it's not where I live now. I don't live in binge mode. I don't live in craving ooey gooey chewy foods. And that's the freedom that I get to live in. That's the freedom that my clients are living in or working towards living in. And that's really where, you know, all my experience comes from, is from personal experience. You can't learn this stuff in a book. You know, people who are educated in nutrition and diet and that kind of thing, you know, many practitioners. I have great practitioner friends, but if you haven't gone face to face with a cookie and eaten the whole bag when you didn't want to, it's hard to understand how crazy this is, right? Like how crazy it is to be powerless over a cookie. So that's what I do with Heal Your Hunger, is I show people a step-by-step system for overcoming emotional eating. And it works. It really does work. It's not easy. There's work involved, but not work on your diet, work on yourself. That's really what we do. So it's absolutely beautiful. So what I want to do right now is, and there's some good stuff I'm going to be offering at the end. So I want you to stay to the end because I have a gift for you. So what I want you to do right now is post here. Okay. Again, I want this to be interactive. I'm not just going to like just talk at you. I want to hear from you. What are the hardest points for the holidays? What's the thing you struggle with? Obviously you struggle with food. I get that. Probably wouldn't be here if you didn't. But what is it? Like, is it family? Is it the parties? Is it all the food that's around? Is it the fact that you're cooking and that makes it harder? The gifts that you get, everybody's giving you wine and candied pecans and, and whatever else, chocolate, whatever. What's the thing that's hardest for you? Go ahead and put that in the chat. I want to address some of this stuff. Sugar, amen. Lots of sugar everywhere. Parties, you say parties, I'm tired and I don't make great choices when you're tired. Amen. That's so true. Della, such good food around at this time of year. Carolyn caves to novelties. Sounds like she's saying the same thing. Eggnog, oh, lordy. Eggnog, I could eat, man, when eggnog is the bane of my existence. Every Christmas, I could, my family would buy this eggnog, and I was younger, and my dad would pour me a cup of eggnog, and I'd be like, is that it? Like, I literally could have done this to the whole carton of eggnog. Does anybody else feel that way? The best stuff in the world. I get it. Cookies, alcohol, cooking. Okay. Alcohol. Yeah, it's hard. Parties. Sandra said I do good when I get back home. But when I get back home, I overeat. Let me move this so I can see. Yeah. Can't say no to sweets, especially when they're there. Feeling other people's pain. Dinah. Yeah. A lot of pain going around. I hear that. The temptation, Linda says, seeing sugar, carbs, parties everywhere, and everyone else is eating. Feel like you're the odd one out. Okay. This is good. Thank you for saying that. Just have one because it's Christmas. People who put food on your plate without letting you serve yourself. Yeah. Okay. This is good stuff. So the day after. Okay, great. Thank you all so much for posting that stuff. That is fantastic. So let's, I want to start tackling this stuff. Okay. So, pushy family members who sabotage my eating. You don't love me if you don't eat my food. Okay. Let's go there. Thanks, Angie. Let's go there with people serving food to us, people guilt tripping us to eat, right? It happens, right? It happens. I'll get to some of these other points here, but yeah, so here's the deal. Okay, I'm just going to give it to you straight. You don't owe anybody you don't owe anybody eating for them. Like, you don't owe anybody hurting yourself, okay? Can I get an amen? You do not owe anybody. If Jesus wanted you to eat cookies and crap, you don't owe Jesus eating cookies and crap. Okay? And Jesus probably wouldn't care if you ate cookies and crap. I get it. But you get my point? It's like, you don't, this is what my clients know, and there's a lot of them here on the call. What they know is that us first, right? Me first. And that's not selfish, that's self-care. Okay. So when we put ourselves first and we don't give in to other people and what they want for us, they get over it and we get to feel good. Right. So it's a big trap. And the reason why it's a trap for emotional eaters, I'll tell you why this is coming up for you guys and why it's a struggle, is because emotional eaters are people pleasers. Okay. We are consummate people pleasers. Okay, there's 24 personality traits that make up the emotional eating personality, more or less. And I've identified these, and I call it the anatomy of the emotional eater. And the top personality trait that dooms emotional eaters, and that emotional eaters are taking the cake on, pardon the pun, is people pleasing, which means we always try to please others. And that is so much. I just got off the phone with a client who earlier today, and we were digging into what's going on with her. It comes down to that, right? Putting her job before herself, putting what people think of her at her job before herself. She's running herself ragged, trying to get everybody to like her. I mean, she's been there for decades and they probably like her. So the fact is, though, this is so hard for emotional eaters. So when you're at somebody's house and they want you to eat their food, what you're going to have to do is stand for yourself and what you want, not what they want. And this is hard. This is what, this is why I have a community of emotional eaters that support each other in making changes, because on our own, it's really hard. But what you need to do is say, no, thank you. Like, no, thank you. You don't need to make excuses. You don't need to come up with some harebrained story. Like, no, thank you. You can stand on that. No, thank you. If that's too hard, and I agree that might be a little hard for you at first when you haven't practiced this, I'll give you some other things you can say. It doesn't agree with me. No, thank you. That item doesn't agree with me. Or no, thank you. I have some food sensitivities. Or no, thank you. I'm just giving you excuses. You can use some excuses if it makes it easier for you. The key is to say no. So you could, like what I always say, and this is kind of tongue in cheek, but I always say I used up my coupons. Because I did. I used up my coupons on all kinds of ooey gooey chewy foods. I ate more of that than most people eat. I ate more of that in 7 years than most people eat in a lifetime, the way I would binge. So I just say, no, I used up my coupons. Like, you use your coupons. I don't have any left, and so I'm just kidding around. But you don't have to say that either. But something that Roy often says is, no, you don't have enough of you don't have enough of that for me. So like if somebody's giving you a piece of cake, it's like, no, there's not enough there, which is kind of true the way we eat, right? So, I mean, I don't want to eat a little bit of something because it'll set me off. It'll trigger me to eat more. And so I don't want that fight. So I just say, no, thank you. No, thank you. Here's some other things you can do. You can bring the things that you want to eat, right? I'm always like bringing a salad to the party or roasted vegetables, or I'll pick up some vegetables from Whole Foods. I make sure I bring to the party what I want to eat, so I'm not stuck with crap food, okay? And with people like giving me bad choices for food. I take responsibility. And again, I want to hear from you. If there's any other, go ahead and put in some tips. If you got any tips, I'm happy to read them. This is again, a give and take, but that's the bottom line, is that we don't owe anybody. And if it's going to make us feel bad, we don't have to do it. And honestly, guys, nobody cares. Like, really, who really cares what we eat? It's all between our ears, thinking people care. They don't care. Oh, they might give us a little pushback, but really, they're just talking. They don't care. You just keep saying, no, thank you. I appreciate it. No, thank you. You don't have to get pissed off. You just say everything with a smile and it'll go away fast. Okay. So that's really what I just recommend, is just think, just put yourself first and everybody will adjust. We're so afraid people are going to be mad at us. They don't care. They don't care. And if they are mad, then they have a problem, not you. So that's some tips on people pleasing and in eating, like eating other people's, like when other people want to too. Alcohol. Okay. Alcohol has come up from a few of you, and I totally get that. There's a lot of alcohol flowing. My solution is I don't drink it. Like, one of anything that I get out of control with, and I used to get out of control with alcohol, one of anything, not worth it for me. So I drink sparkling water. I bring sparkling water to parties. I bring sparkling water. So I know there's going to be I feel so great when I have a glass of sparkling water with a lime in it or something. If I'm at a party that's at a restaurant or something, I always ask for a lime. They might not have it at somebody's house, but sparkling water feels like a drink. Again, nobody cares whether you're drinking or not. So think about all the mind chatter that you have of what will people think, and, oh, they'll judge me. They may, but chances are they will not. Chances are you're judging you and you're projecting that on other people. People don't care. They just don't care. Okay. Mark Twain said, you wouldn't care so much about what people thought of you if you realized how seldom they do. Ain't that the truth? Okay. So really, really important to just know that, you don't have to drink. You don't have to drink at a party. Now let's talk about also sparkling cider. Sparkling cider, that Martinelli stuff or whatever that you can get from Whole Foods or maybe from other grocery stores. That's sparkling cider. If you really feel like you're lacking, bring sparkling cider. And when people are drinking champagne, New Year's Eve, drink sparkling cider, whatever. You don't have to, but that's an option as well, just to make it festive and fun. But let's talk about this. I just had it, and I think I might just have just lost it. Oh, the issue of feeling like you're going to be left out. Okay. Oh, I love Dinah's comment. Sparkling water with lime, fresh mint, and liquid stevia. Yes, I put stevia in like flavored like lime flavored or orange flavored sparkling water. Put some stevia in it. Great suggestion, Dinah. Thank you. So let's talk about this feeling of being left out, okay? Because that's real. I get that. I totally get that. Again, remember, most of the problems we have around holidays take place between our ears, okay? And this is a case in point, because it's really us doing a number on ourselves of feeling left out. Like we're singing that song of I'm left out. Everybody else is having some but me, poor me. And there's a saying in Alcoholics Anonymous, which is pour me another drink. Because that self-pity will lead to overeating or lead to drinking. Okay, so we have to watch our thoughts. And it's a choice. If you start going down that road of everybody's eating but me, just catch yourself. I just did a podcast, and I recommend my podcast to anybody for additional support. It's the Heal Your Hunger Show. On iTunes and Stitcher. But the fact is, I just literally recorded, I don't think it's come out yet, but maybe I think Thursday, but it's called Catching Yourself in the Act. So catch your thoughts is the point of it. Catch your thoughts when you start going down that road, and try to just like come out of it by giving yourself a little talking to. Because here's the thing, when you feel deprived, and that's a real thing for emotional eaters, I'm not diminishing that. When you feel deprived, okay, what's happening is you're thinking that you're missing out. But I want to give you a reframe on feeling deprived, okay? Because you're not lacking you're not like losing out on something. You're giving yourself something when you don't eat the crap at the party, okay? When you don't eat the chocolates that somebody gives you, or when everybody's eating something and you're not eating it. I want to, again, think of the fact that you used up your coupons. That's what I do. I think, I'm not really missing out. I ate plenty. I've had plenty of that. But I really want you to do a reframe, which is you're actually, and again, I did a podcast called, is it Deprivation, or what was the name of that podcast? But the point is, it's not deprivation, it's self-care. Like you're actually giving yourself a gift. Because think about it. If you're going to go eat that crap and then feel like crap, and then the next day keep eating, or into the night keep eating, or you're going to take it home with you and eat more of it and binge and feel disgusting, is that really, is that what you're depriving yourself of? Yeah. Like you're depriving yourself of feeling like crap. Okay? And give me an amen if you get where I'm going here. Okay? If you get what I'm saying, you're giving yourself a gift by not eating that stuff and then feeling crappy. You're actually doing, giving yourself something, not taking away something. Okay. So, thank you, Angie. I just want to make sure that was landing. Thanks, Gail. It's not deprivation if you're giving yourself the opportunity to feel good, to go home and feel clean, and to wake up without a sugar hangover, or feeling bloated, or have zits on your face. Look, that's what you're depriving yourself of. That's what you've been deprived of. You've been deprived of feeling gross and bad and fat and bloated and hating yourself. So the reframe is, no, I'm not deprived if I'm not eating what everyone else is eating. I don't handle those things well, okay? That's what I call the just one theory. There's no such thing as just one. I can't eat just one of something ooey gooey and chewy. I want more. The eggnog. I can't have a glass of eggnog. I want the carton. I literally could polish off the carton. So to me, I'm giving myself a gift. If I don't, here's another saying for you. None is better than some. Okay, just brand that into your brain. None is better than some. And that's the truth. For some foods that you can, when you get triggered by certain foods, don't even try. Just pass on them, because it's easier to eat none of them than it is to eat some of them. Okay. So that's that situation. Thanks, Valerie and Carolyn. Let's talk about some other things that came up. Is this helpful for you guys? Are we making some progress here? Let me know, okay? I want to hear about it. Thank you. Good. All right, so let's talk about family. Belinda talked about family. Oh my goodness. And I just want to say, Linda, thank you. So family, yeah, family. Let's talk about family. Not easy when we're hanging out with family, you know, and for me, it is now, but I had to do a lot of personal work to get to that point. Okay, I had to do a lot of personal work. So, you know, I used to get so triggered by my family, and family's hard for emotional eaters because that's usually that's the scene of the crime, right? That's how we got messed up in the first place. Not that it's anybody's fault, but that was that cauldron of conflict, that cauldron of stress and tension and just trauma and bad feelings and hurt. Okay, that's where it all happened, and we're going straight back there with a whole bunch of goodies, right, hanging around, and we're going to try not to eat them. So that's a tough situation. There's no question about it. And so I want to talk about what to do with family. Family's not easy. So first of all, I'll tell you what I did, and what I recommend is limit your time with them. Okay. I mean, there might be certain family that are actually abusive, in which case make other plans. Like, just make other plans and don't feel bad about it. If you're going into a situation that's abusive, where you have mean people in your family and they put you down or criticize you or size you up and criticize your weight, that is not where you need to be for the holidays. And there have been times when I didn't be I wasn't with family because I couldn't really handle it. My family's not mean, but I had stuff and I had trouble. So there's sometimes when I thought, you know what, I'm going to spend some time with friends, or I'm going to go volunteer, you know, at a shelter or something. And I just chose a different activity. So that is an option. Okay. Just know you have options. You can choose to spend a short time with family. Okay. Super, super important. Spend, you know, limited time. I used to go to see my family and I would limit it to like a 3-day visit. Cause I had a lot of feelings come up, and I literally had like an expiration date. Like, I could only do 3 days. And that's what I did for years. Until I was more stable emotionally, and I could handle it better, and I wasn't triggered by people. Fortunately, my family did a lot of, you know, each member did a lot of work on themselves, and we all grew, you know, and got better. So I'm very grateful for that. I know that's not usually the case. My sisters are, they've struggled with food as well. So we've all supported each other on this path. But I will just tell you that, you know, you can limit your time with them. Another thing you can do is what I find most helpful around family. You know, so much of the time with my family, I had expectations. Like, a lot of the problems I had with my family, what I realized certain people in my family, is I wanted their love. Okay. And if you can relate to this, please let me know. But I wanted my dad's love. I wanted my mom's love, and wanting that and expecting that got me into trouble, because I was trying to get something from them that they might not have been able to give me, especially when I'm making demands for it. So I set myself up to be disappointed. I wanted their approval more than anything. Oh my goodness. I want my dad. Does anybody relate to wanting your father's approval? I wanted my dad to just love me and approve of me and think I was the best thing since sliced bread. And the truth is, he did a lot more than I realized, but I was so busy trying to get him to see me, that it got in the way of my relating with him. And so my point here is that watch your expectations when you're around family. Okay. Catch yourself in the act of trying to get from them. I used to try so hard in my family to be funny. I was always trying to like dance and trying to get them to think I was great, you know? And again, just came from that place of people pleasing, but also I didn't have a strong sense of myself. And so I was seeking validation from outside myself. Emotional eaters do it all the time. But what helped me around family is when I stopped wanting anything from them. You know, I remember having a client complained to me about her grandmother, and she just was bitching and bitching about her grandmother and how resentful she was of her grandmother. I thought, I don't really resent my grandmother. I'm like, why is that? Because she used to make comments about my weight. She's an old English woman. She came over on a boat from England, and she'd be like, oh, you're so chubby, or I don't know. She'd say, oh, looks like you put on some pounds, or she'd say, the last thing we want to hear, right, is somebody's critique of our weight. So she'd always make these comments about my weight, and I'd be like, I'd be so pissed at her. And so this client was complaining about her grandmother. I thought, wow, I haven't resented my grandmother in a really long time. Why is that? And when I looked at it, it was because I just loved her. I no longer try to get her to see me. She's an old English woman. She's long past now, but she's just an old unconscious English woman. She doesn't know anything about the world I live in. And she did the best she could. And she didn't know she was being offensive when she made those comments. So I would want nothing from her. And I just saw that that's where the peace is. The peace comes from not caring, if people love us or not. Like, our best defense when we're with our families, not that we should prostrate ourselves for our families or people please, but I will tell you, if we can stop expecting love from our families, just say, it's off the table. Like, this is not where I go for love. And if you start creating a new place of love, in the Heal Your Hunger community, we're supporting and loving each other. We're on a call every single week, and there's so much love going on. We're like, love, loving each other. Find new family, find people who will love you unconditionally, and stop trying to get it from your family. So, and again, you might have very loving family, but it came up here. What do I do about family? And I'll say that's one of the hardest things with family that I realized for me is when I was trying to get something. When I stopped wanting love from my parents, I just realized they're people, and they can only do what they can do. And I stopped treating them like parents. When I became an adult, I treated them like adults instead of parents. Like, they're just another adult, and they've got stuff going on, and they maybe have blocks to loving, or issues and stuff they didn't deal with. So cut them a break, just love on them. So that's my suggestion to you with your family. And I love it if you relate to this, or if this is landing for you, go ahead and put it in the chat. Like, just love your family. Just practice, think before you go, I'm not going to try to dance to get them to notice me. And just think of yourself as being a source of love. Just go and just try to love. And I know they can be annoying. Okay. My mother, there have been times when she just triggered the crap out of me, but she was doing the best she could. And I just had to be like, God, just help me love her. Just help me love her. Another thing with family that I find really helpful along these lines is to just and again, it's a double-edged sword, because what I'm going to say could be people pleasing, but I just want to say, I want you to really just think about being helpful. So when I'm, and this is true for parties in general, if you feel like I have some social anxiety when I go to parties, I seem very outgoing and whatever, like chatty and all that kind of thing, which I am. But when I go to parties, I get nervous. I get social anxiety. I'm like, and I dread it. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to this party. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I'd love to just sit at home and watch TV right now. Like, the last thing I want to go is go to the party. And so I drag my butt there. I just did it last week. I'm like, ugh. So I drag myself there. And like, undoubtedly, I always have fun. Like, once I get into it and I'm talking and I'm just laughing and people are sweet, like, it's all fine. But I'm telling you, at first, I'm just like, I don't want to be there. So that social anxiety gets me sometimes. And Dinah made a good point, not in a superficial conversation. And that's true. And so and to that I say, I would rather talk to one person in the corner, sitting in a corner and really get into like asking questions and learning about them than I would be in a group of people trying to perform. So I get that. And that's what I do. And that the key is to try to think of how you can bring to the situation. Try to think of how you can make it better by being helpful. A lot of times I'll start clearing, if I'm at someone's house, I'll start clearing dishes, or I'll help out in the kitchen. I do that when I feel social anxiety, when I'm like, I don't know who to talk to, or I don't know very many people here. I go straight to the kitchen and ask the host, what can I do to help? Big scores. Okay, you're going to get big points for that. You know, and not that you're trying to get points, but it's like, who wouldn't want somebody to come and say, how can I help you when you have a party? So that's what I do, is I help out. I just get really busy clearing dishes, washing dishes, covering up old, you know, after we've cleared the table, covering up dishes and putting them in the freezer or whatever. It just makes it so much easier. Another thing I do around social, I'm kind of jumping to social anxiety here, but another thing I do is I hang out with the kids. Kids are so awesome. They're so real, and they're so joyful and funny. So sometimes when I'm at a party, I'll just like, if I'm feeling like I'm like talked out, or I don't have anything to say, or these people bore me, when I'm feeling bored, you know, and I need to stay because I came with somebody else or whatever, I'll go find the children. If it's a party that has families and kids, I'll go hang out with the kids. I'll go watch TV with them, or if they're playing a game, I'll play with them. You know, that might sound weird, but it's so fun. Like, they're just so joyful and real and fun. So that's what I do to get my mind off of myself. Case in point, what the real key is, I just popped out of my mouth, is to get our minds off ourselves. Because again, it's what we're doing inside our heads that's the problem. Okay, parties are fine. They're neither here nor there. It's the mind chatter that drives us nuts and drives us to eat. Okay, can I get an amen? Like, it's the I don't look good, everybody looks better than me, I'm a loser, I never have anything interesting to say, I'm not very smart, you know, these people know about politics, I don't know what to say about politics, I don't keep up on politics, you know, I wish I was more well read, you know, but I don't really like to read. So like all that stuff, like, that is what drives us nuts. It's not the people at the party. It's what we're doing to ourselves, which is good, because that means we can do something about that. You know, the double-edged sword is that we're the problem, but we're also the solution. So the solution lies in us. You know, what can we do to get out of ourselves, to get out of our heads? Again, clearing the dishes, hanging out with the kids. Like I said before, sitting in the corner, talking to somebody and learning about them. Best thing you can do at a party is ask questions, okay? Forget people trying to know who you are. Like, people are so self-involved. Think about them, including us, of course. Ask them questions. Talk to the old people. If there's a couple old ladies sitting there, pull up a chair and ask them about where they grew up, or what it was like, or what it was like growing up during World War I or II. You know, ask questions. Nobody ever asks. They would love to talk about it. So again, these are little hacks to get out of the head, out of that mind chatter, out of that social anxiety, so you can be more relaxed, but really so you can be a contributor, you know, like, just give. Like, that's what you want to do, is give. Not knock yourself out in a people-pleasing way. Just get out of yourself. Okay. So that's something I wanted to cover. What else we got here? Is there something I haven't covered? Go ahead and put it in there. Temptation. Okay. All the food that's everywhere. We covered feeling like the odd guy out. All the sweets that are everywhere. Okay, guys, I know it's hard. Okay. I totally get that it's hard. You know, it's to see all that food everywhere. It is like, it's the hardest thing for emotional eaters, to have all that food and everybody's eating it, and it's like everywhere and you can't get away from it. You know, the people in my program, they have a very specific protocol of things that they do first thing in the morning to put money in their bank account that they can draw on later in the day when they're tired, when they feel tempted, because those two go together, right? When we're tired and we've got temptation around us, that's when we succumb. Okay, that's when we have like no willpower. But if you start the day out by having a self-care practice, when you nurture your soul first thing in the morning, you're gonna have an easier time later in the day. That's vital. Okay, normally we pop out of bed and we're just going. but that's not going to work. So I want to encourage you during this holiday season to put some self-care into your day. Okay? Go to a yoga class, meditate, do some spiritual reading, whatever feeds your soul, put that into the day, because when things get so busy, especially at holiday time, that falls by the wayside. But you can't just not eat the food. You need a replacement for the food. And for me, a lot of times that's what that is. I meditated today in my car. It was about, I went to the Apple store. So I sat in my car and I meditated. I hope you can hear me. I sat and I meditated, and it just woke me up. It recharged me. Listening to music. I'll go for a walk with my iPhone, and I'll put my earbuds in and I'll listen to Pandora. I'll listen to Meghan Trainor. Meghan Trainor is my all-time favorite artist right now. Her tunes are so danceable and they're so uplifting and encouraging. So I have Pandora set on Meghan. If anybody likes Meghan Trainor, I want to hear about it because I love her. But anyway, point is, it lifts me up. It lifts up my spirits. I get to walk and I get to sing and like funk out to Meghan Trainor. So thanks, Tina, for letting me know. I'm not sure why that is, but I can't really do anything about it. So hopefully we'll, I don't know, get better here. So anyway, sorry about the, if you're losing me a bit, I'm going to pray it gets better. So in terms of all the foods that are around, the best choice you have to me is to like really, really bulk up on taking care of yourself and like setting an intention for yourself. Like first thing in the morning, set an intention on who you want to be like that day. Do you want to be a slave to food? Do you want to be just thinking about food all the time? Or do you want to be somebody who is like standing for herself and caring for herself? Just hold the vision of self-care and self-love. And my friends, eating crap is not self-love. For us, it's not self-love. I know it feels like a reward, but if you're somebody who goes overboard and you end up just going down that rabbit hole and feeling crappy, that is not self-love, that is self-abuse. And so I just want to mention that even though you're like, oh, I want that food, do you want the consequences that come with that food? And so let's think about that. Carolyn said, I tossed my wedding bouquet to Meghan Trainor's future husband. That is so cute. Oh my God, I love that. So let me see some of these other ones. And also, again, bring your own options. If you're going to a party, bring things that are your own, that you can eat. Okay, super, super, super important. What are some other things? Cooking. Oh, let's talk about cooking. Do you really need to bake this Christmas season? Just ask yourself, do you really need to bake? I think that we tell ourselves we do, like we tell ourselves we have to eat, like certain things, because it's tradition and we need to bake certain things. We need to make certain dishes. But guess what? You don't. I have a coach, Coach Pat. She started out as a client. Now she's an awesome coach for other people in my program. And she is, she just is changing stuff up. Like she's just doing things differently. And a lot of people are expecting from her what she usually delivers. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do it that way this year. We're going to do something else. Like you don't have to stick to tradition. You don't have to be the one that makes that special baked good, and I know you're probably protesting right now. You're like, but I want to eat that baked good. So you get to choose, you get to decide, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? What's that saying? A moment on the lips, forever on the hips. I love that. Wow. So true. So is it worth it? Is all that labor in the kitchen, like, do you have to do that? No, you don't have to do that. You have a choice. You have a choice, but yeah, you have to choose. Do I want to eat all the stuff I'm baking, or do I want to break tradition? Maybe feel a little bit nervous because of what people might think of me and the fact that I'm not going to get that favorite food, but in exchange, I'm going to feel good about myself and I'm not going to gain 10 pounds at the holiday time. That's a pretty good, alternative. So I just want to remind you, you always have a choice. So important. What else? Valerie, so happy. Thank you. Hey, if anyone, I'm just going to stop and mention this. You know, I do have a program. It's a 90-day program, and it's powerful. And I have ladies here who are transforming their lives on account of it, and they are just like rock stars. I love them all, but they've said yes to themselves, and they're doing something about their food and weight issues. And Tina, if you will put a link in here for how people can register for, I'm going to offer you guys, remember I said I was going to give you a gift? What I'm offering you is a complimentary breakthrough session. Okay, this is a $400 value. We're going to break through some of those blocks that you have and some of that denial that you have, so you can come to a better place around food and weight. And we will talk about what action steps you can take, you know, starting now and beginning of January, to actually have a better experience. I call it losing 20 in 2020. Okay. If you want to lose 20 in 2020, that sounds really amazing. There's a link here, or it's also, Tina, just so it's easier. Well, now you can just copy and paste, but it's also Heal Your Hunger /apply. So Heal Your Hunger /apply, and you can actually apply, schedule a breakthrough session with me. So I'd love to do that. I've got slots available up until the time I go to Maine. I'm going to be with my sisters in Maine and my nieces and my nephew. So, and friends. So, oh no, I'm frozen. Am I with you? So sorry. I don't know what's happening with my internet. It's totally a bummer. Anyway. Okay, cool. So yeah. So if you want to have a one-on-one chat, that's my gift to you. You go ahead and click on that link. Tina put the link here, but if you're just listening, it's healyourhunger.com/apply, and schedule a call with me. Up until the time I go to Maine for Christmas, I have slots available. After that, I won't have slots available until after the holidays. So I just want to say, if you're ready to do something, let's talk, okay? Like, don't go another year feeling crappy and fighting food. There's a better way. So, and I'll show you that, and we'll talk about it. And, you know, if you want to just chat, that's fine too. Like, I want you to have a breakthrough. So, okay. So hopefully, oops. Okay. So yeah, so now what I want to do is I want to ask you guys, because I want to stop at the top of the hour. I want to ask you what you feel is the best suggestion you've heard that you're going to take action on. Okay, I want to get some commitments here for what action steps you're going to take to feel better. Okay, and have a better time during the holidays. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole. Okay, so tell me what actions you're going to take. Let's get some commitments here. So I hear you, Tina. We're good. It's all good. If I can help, I will. But let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and please put in the chat what helped you and what action you're going to take. Just one thing. Okay, one thing. I'd like to see it. I don't see anything there yet. What action you can take, okay? Hanging out with the kids? Being okay with limiting time with family, Jane said, great. Angie said, taking care of me is more important than pleasing someone else. Amen, sister. Melissa says, saying no thank you when offered. So simple, right? Belinda said, no expectations. Amen. Oh, that's going to save you so much pain and heartache. Carolyn says, no thank you. Gail says, taking something I can drink to the party. Yeah, making sure you have sparkling water is so important, or something else. Dinah, choose one person to go deep within a corner of the party. Yep. Angie said, love all the using up my coupons. Nancy says, watching my expectations. So important. Della said, not having to cook and make Christmas foods. I'll limit what I cook and have around the house. Yay, Della. Amen, girl. I'm telling you, it's just, people have enough crap to eat. We don't have to make more for them. Like, think of them. Like, we don't want to feed their addiction. Virginia, making sure I bring something I can eat with me to Christmas dinner. Beautiful. Dinah, seriously. What else? What are you committing to? Write it down here. It's so powerful to write something. Okay, right? Put it in writing. That's gonna help. That's gonna help the universe help you if you put it in writing here, and we witness it. So yeah, Dinah, loving myself first and foremost. Amen, sister. Pat, no expectations from family. Oh, won't it be nice to just like they can just do and be however they want to do and be? No biggie, right? And isn't that what we all want? Like, don't we all want unconditional love? Isn't that the thing we want from others? So let's start by giving it to other people. Like, let's just put the judgment away and the expectations away and just let them be. If the way they are is not noticing us, so be it. Love them through that. Love them however they are. Jane says, saying no, thank you. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. So let's just turn this to what I want to ask one more question. I love you guys put in the chat. That's so awesome. Carolyn, starting my day with self-care. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I support you in that. We all do. What's the thing that has nothing to do with food? Nancy says, no baking. I make wonderful things. I'm sure you do. Girl, you've made wonderful things for so long. Give yourself a break this year. I'm sure you do. Just know that you can make wonderful things, but you choose not to. Okay? Just try something new on for size. Let's go ahead and put in the chat, what thing besides the food and the eating, what's going to be wonderful about the holidays? You know, Hanukkah is coming up. I didn't realize Hanukkah was so late this year. Hanukkah and Christmas and anything else you might celebrate. What's one thing you're looking forward to that's got nothing to do with food, nothing to do with stress, that's just pure joy? Let's name some of the things that are completely joyful. So beautiful to think about, right? I'm going to dwell on the good stuff now. Family. Joanne said family. Amen. Sleeping in. Angie, good stuff. I like singing. I'm hoping I will sing Christmas carols with my sisters. Belinda, sunshine and swimming. Oh, girls, stop it. Belinda's in New Zealand, and it's her summertime right now. Sunshine and swimming and hanging around the pool in my bikini. Have a swim for us, will you? Virginia, spending time with family. Gwen, gonna read a book. Angie, time to relax and unwind. Gail, getting together with friends and going to a Bell concert. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, I love Bell concerts. Exchanging thoughtful gifts with her husband. Jane, that's so sweet. Pat, Christmas concerts. Yes. Dinah, giving people scarves that you've knitted for them. So sweet. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, next time I do a webinar, I'm going to figure it out so that we can all actually say these things. You won't have to just chat, okay? Because that'll be super fun. So make sure you come to the next one I have. I would love to actually hear you and see you. So we'll do that. We'll up level from the chat, and we'll still maybe have a chat, but we'll be on where you can actually be heard. That would be super sweet. So yeah, beautiful. And for me, it's family. You know, I'm not looking forward to going to the cold, you know, but for me, it's family and Christmas carols. I have a good friend who's turning 60 on the 24th on Christmas Eve. So I'm super excited for that celebration. So yeah, just there's so much good about the holidays, right? Dinah, giving people scarves that you've knitted for them, so cool. There's so much good. Okay, so let's just like take our focus off the food. Christmas lights, Leslie said. Take our focus off the food, focus off of us, and really look at all these beautiful things we have to look forward to, right? It's so awesome. The holidays are wonderful. They're beautiful. We don't have to, oh, Sandra's turning 60 on the 27th. That's so cool. Happy birthday. But isn't that cool that we have so many beautiful things to look forward to? And that's really, I think, what we lose sight of because we're so busy, you know, stressing out and thinking about what presents we're going to give, make sure it's the perfect present. Guys, you are the perfect present. You are the perfect present. Okay? You're the perfect present. So stop beating yourself up. Stop putting all these expectations on yourself, speaking of expectations, to do it, you know, better, bigger, better, brighter. You are enough. Show up with an open heart. Remember to love. Just show up and love. Just love the hell out of people, right? That is enough. That is a gift. You are a gift. So I love focusing on the positive. It's so, so perfect. And just know we're with you all the way here. If you want to schedule a breakthrough session, go to healyourhunger.com. I'll put it in here. www.healyourhunger.com/apply. Let's chat. Love to see you and talk with you. So everybody, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Thanks for showing up. Love you so much. Love to support you in any way I can. And happy holidays. Okay? Be well. Thanks all. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thanks, Tricia. Thank you, guys. What fun. Great to be with you. Thanks so much.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.